Hi everyone, Magnus here, and today's video we're going to be looking at the zugzwang and its application in some puzzles all the way from 1000 to 2500 and then a really hard challenge puzzle at the end. First things first, I'm going to be introducing you to the concept of zugzwang itself. I believe that the translation means a compulsion to move, and the idea is that basically you have to make a move every time when it's your turn in chess. And in this specific situation, let's say it's white to move, black doesn't want to move their king. If black never had to move, white wouldn't be able to make progress, but black has to move, and by moving, black gives way to the white king. And let's say this happens, we get the same situation where black has to move and give way to the white king. And the idea with the zugzwang is that basically the opponent enemy pieces they don't want to make a move, and if they didn't have to make a move they would be fine, but they're forced to make a move that worsens their position and leads to a loss, like in this situation where the white pawn will now just march. Okay, so let's start with this is the 1000 to 1500 puzzles. And first things first here, I am seeing that this pawn, they are looking for a pawn break, which I actually will be doing a video on pawn breaks in king and pawn endgames soon. And white wants to play e5 and then push their f pawn after giving it up and make a queen. So to me, it makes sense that we want to bring back the king to d4, and then the white king will not have many moves. These pawns don't have many moves either. If they move forward, we will take it. And so if we move back and they push, I will take. If they move back and they move their king somewhere, it would be losing the defense of this pawn, at which I would take. And if I move back and they push, then I would take it. So the good thing about these zugzwang positions is that they often occur in the endgame, which means that there aren't that many moves for the opponent that you have to calculate, and for that reason, endgames can often get really obscure in their moves, but at the same time, you can just figure them out by process of elimination and brute force. So okay, bring back the king and take the pawn. And after they go here, we have plenty of waiting moves for them to then move elsewhere, and then we win the game. And even if we didn't, there wouldn't be a pawn break here actually, because that structure's solid. But you could also try for this pawn break over here, sacrifice, and if they ever push, then you get back in time. So the endgame really doesn't matter whether or not we actually did have those extra tempi. Anyway, okay. So here I'm trying to think. Let's just calculate bringing the king closer to the pawns, because that makes sense. Let's say takes, and the black king is the only piece defending this black pawn here, and black's going to have to move away after, because you see it's our turn, then it's their turn, our turn, now it's their turn again. They're going to have to move the king back this way, from which we will take the pawn, move out of the way, and then push, make the queen. Okay, nice and simple. This looks like a very similar puzzle here. The first, we don't have many moves, okay? If I move the king away from the pawn, not there. If I move the king away from the pawn, they'll just take, and then white's winning. So to me, the only possible move is h5, and if white takes, then we can take this pawn here, and they can't catch the pawn from behind, we will just make a queen. And if they takes, we get captures, and the exact same situation as last puzzle where the white king has to step away. And we win. Okay. These are now the 1500 to 2000 puzzles. It's black to move, and what I'm seeing here is, okay, so we want this white bishop to stop covering the b8 square here. Also, there's some ideas of going around this way, but let's say if we went this way, they would move the king, right? And then after the check, they would just escape. So that doesn't seem very good. Potentially it could be this. Let's say that they'd have to move the king to defend. So this is a forcing move. Okay, maybe it's this. Because then I'm going for the checkmate. So, and if they move the king closer, then I give the check and they have to block with the bishop, which I then win. And if I go here and they try and run away, then I can give a check and then they go here and then you go back and you pin them across the 7th rank. So this looks to me like it wins. And if I go here and they try and cover up, then I'll just go and pin and they have to move and then they move the king. I don't see any other moves for white after this move here. Just win the bishop. Okay, to me this looks like it's a king takes pawn. The knight will have to move, say here or here. If they go anywhere else, like there, or there, we will deliver this checkmate here. And after here or here, we just give the check. And then they have to block, and then we make a waiting move, the king moves, and then you take the knight. So quite similar to the last puzzle. Check. And a waiting move. Okay. Aha, so this one looks like we might have to freeze a bunch of pawns here. I'm thinking pawn g5. I think Daniel Naroditsky calls this the deep freeze. I like this term as well because the point is that the pawns can't move forward and they're all fixed up. So I'm thinking pawn g5 here, and the white king would have to go back, giving me this pawn, or they just start sacrificing all of their pawns, and I should win the game. I don't see any other ideas for white because let's say if I push and they push, they just give me a pawn, I win. If I push, they give me a pawn, and I can use this pawn to distract the white king away, take this pawn and then make a queen with that pawn. And if they move back like this, here and here, then I always have this pawn push, they move here, and then I can go over and take that pawn and then make a queen with with these two here, connected pawns. So it looks like g5 is the winning move. They just give me all their pawns. I appreciate that. Okay, moving on to the 2000 to 2500 puzzles. Let's see what this is. Maybe this check. The king moves. Is it just this? Hmm. My idea is that they can't take this pawn because this would be a checkmate. But they can start pushing this pawn. Which could be annoying. Something like this. Don't I lose this guy? Maybe it is just something as simple as saying that here, and then after this pawn push I just take back. I think it might just be that simple. Because I'm winning with this setup, and if I can get these two pawns off the board, I just run my king and then I win, right? So I think it is just that. Yeah. Okay. I think this is possibly a study position. Firstly, I'm thinking you want to make it so that the knight can't move. Maybe something like bishop c2. Let's say the knight goes here. Because after here, if the knight goes there, I can push. And the knight has to move somewhere because the king has no squares. So let's say that the knight goes back. That's checkmate. So if the bishop goes here, and the knight could go here though, trying to get stalemate. That's annoying. Push here. Can I go back? Then they would go back. Okay. Here. So the king move. Oh, is that it? Yeah. I think is it bishop? I think it's bishop c2. The knight moves here. Oh no, then he would take my pawn. He would take my pawn. I don't really know how I'm meant to get out of them getting this set up, because the pawn will have to push, otherwise they'll just take it. Trying to think about why different bishop squares might help. Just looking at some random squares now. Makes sense that I want to keep the bishop on this diagonal, so that if the pawn ever gets here, it would be checkmate. If I could orchestrate some position like here, 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 and get the bishop, maybe get the bishop here, then let's say they move. Oh wait, no, they would take the pawn. They would take the pawn. So let's say here, there, here. Here. This puzzle's really hard. Here, 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 here. If you go back. Wait. I think I've got something. Here, here, push back here. And the knight's trapped. And the king is trapped because the knight's here. The pawn covers this square. They've got their knight there. My bishop's covering that square. So they'll have to move their knight that's here. And the king's not in stalemate anymore because my king moves away and this square's opened up. So that if they move there, then my king will take. If they move there, my king will take. If they move there, my bishop can take from there. And if they move there, my bishop can take again. And on all of these knight move squares, the king has this escape here. So that should do it. Nice. Okay. So you just got to make them run out of pawn moves. Then the king will have to step back somewhere. Our king will come in and we win the game. So let's look at the pawn moves. I think it might be this, going for some kind of stalling technique. But let's think. Also, it could be take. Because if they ever go here, say, then I make a queen. And if I take and they take back, I have this move. And then as soon as they go here, I'll take that pawn. So let's say it's take. Yeah, if push, I make a queen. If takes, I go here. They have to either move their king back, let's say here. Then I get to go up. I would win these pawns, win the game. Takes. Let's just double check this. I take. That can't be any good. I don't really understand how it's not just this. I think it is. Yeah. H3, take the pawn. Okay. So those are some of the harder ones, the 2000, 2500 puzzles. Alright, now it's time for the challenge puzzle. At the end, this one is from the 3000 to 3500 rating range, so it's probably going to be pretty difficult here. Let's try and look for some moves. Okay, no, we can't take that yet. This check looks no good. Probably it's going to be starting to push the pawn or something. If I can get my pawn here, then they would be in a situation where that knight check would run into this. So if I get the pawn here, they can't go back because I would promote. Knights are really bad at stopping corner pawns. So let's say I push. It seems like they have to go back. To me, because they can't just start pushing, I'll just push here and then I'll get through. So h5, I guess knight g8 makes sense. Let's see. If I take this, no, I don't want to take. Doesn't do anything. They'll just push here. Oh wait. I want to get a. If I can get a situation where the king comes out here, this move would be a fork. So h5, bishop back. If I could get around there, maybe. You'd put. No, you'd run the king. If he put. Wait, yeah. So like something like this. If he goes if I go h5, knight g8, if I could get a situation with this pawn on e4, bishop to a6 would be checkmate, because the king would have suffocated. Okay, yeah, so h5, knight goes back. If I can give this check, that would force up the pawn, and then maybe I go back around for the checkmate. Okay, that looks to be it, right? How do they stop this? I think that's got to be it. Yeah, I think this is it. Okay, let's go for it. h5, check, bishop c8. Oh dear. Oh dear. Yeah, okay. Kind of missed that. Um, hmm. Is bishop. If bishop a6, he'll just go c4. Is there like some kind of way that I can snake the bishop? Because if I could get the bishop to b1 or c2, and the pawn here, that's another way I could deliver a checkmate. What about this? Knight goes out. Bishop b3. No, because as soon as I try and give one of these checks, the king will run out. So I need the pawn to be here. So check here, here, here. No, but he doesn't even have to do that, because like here, might go c3. And that's... yeah, that's no good. After some process of elimination. Here, knight comes out. Bishop, oh, wait, the knight does get trapped like that. Push. No, that doesn't look very good. Oh wait, no, but then I can give this, no, but then the knight would take. Okay. Okay, wait, maybe it's bishop d7? Because if the pawn push, then I have bishop a4, bishop c2. And if the pawn were to go there, then I can go back and it's checkmate. And if I go bishop d7, king comes up, then I can just move the bishop there. And that wins the knight. And let me just check. Okay, so wait, so bishop d7, king c4, bishop e6. Let's say that the king moves back, take the knight, and they push. Take. Bishop a2. Yeah, that should be a win. That should be a win, right? Because if they check me here, I'm just going to push this pawn, and then eventually they'll run out of moves, and there'll be a position where I can sack the bishop for this pawn, win that pawn, and then I just promote first, because this pawn's like only 2 squares away from queening, right? So it's got to be bishop d7, knight up. But after knight up, I was thinking just check here, and mate, right? And then I go back. Oh, that is nice. That is a nice puzzle. Wow. So quite a tough one there for the last puzzle. Let me know if you got it right in the comments. That'd be very impressive. And otherwise, thank you for watching, and I hope you got some new information about zugzwang. Try and use it in your own games. And yeah, if you enjoyed, please consider liking and subscribing. And other than that, I'll see you next time. Bye. Bye.